تميت الأنام وتحيي العظام وتنشي الخلائق جيلا فجيلا.
Go ahead.
Well, you alluded to the responsibilities of being a Muslim American, but I wonder if you could say, given the sort of stereotype that is sort of pervading even before 9/11, I mean, I was reminded that in the Oklahoma City bombing, the initial attribution was to Muslims, or at least Arabs. How do you advise members of your group, and particularly young people, I guess I'm interested in knowing, about dealing with that stereotype and still exercising their freedom of speech as Americans?
I'm really glad you brought up young people, because they're the ones that I'm most concerned about, and I'll tell you why. This kind of stereotyping and distrust of Muslims is having a large negative effect on them. I have a lot of interaction with Muslims who are counselors, psychiatrists, working in mental health fields, youth workers, and they've seen a dramatic rise in depression, anxiety, all indicators of stress because of this. They feel that they can't present themselves just as they are, but they have to somehow explain or prove themselves that they aren't violent. You know, they're just kids. They don't know. They don't understand what's going on in the world, but they're being asked to explain these things. So it's really problematic, and this is where, as a community, we need to work with teachers and those who touch the lives of young people to alert them to this dynamic and try to find ways to ease their stress somewhat. The only solution really is education. It's challenging for a community, a minority community that's at most 2% of the population, to impact the other 98% of the population in a positive way with their message, when at the same time we're constantly being bombarded with images overseas of war in Iraq, of this kind of violence. So it's an enormous challenge, but I have to say that we're also very fortunate that we are not alone in doing it. There are so many faith-based organizations, interfaith groups, other religious organizations who are sincere in wanting to help us and to help get that message out. And we have, in my work at Hartford Seminary, I interact with priests and ministers who themselves are educating their congregations on Sundays and saying, we cannot fall back into these old patterns of collective guilt and stereotyping. So to me, that is proof of really the best that is in American society, and it makes me hopeful even amidst all of the bad news.
تميت الأنام وتحيي العظام